In this video, I'm going to show you how to waterproof this shower using one of these common products. This one's AquaDefense and this one's RedGard, and I'm going to explain the differences if there is any. So let's get started. Before I go over the differences between these two products, I want to go over the similarities. So both of these cost about $180 depending on where you get them from for 3.5 gallon buckets. That's what these are. And these 3.5 gallon buckets are plenty to do 2 tiled showers. And with that being said, they apply about the same as well. So you got to use a roller to roll it on the wall and a brush to brush into the corners. So applying these, they are going to be applied the same. And you want to wait about an hour between the coats. They both require 2 coats for the installation, which I'm going to show you how to do all that here in just a minute. And also, they're both water-based, so they can be cleaned up with water, but you want to make sure you clean them up before they start setting up on your tools because this stuff hardens like rubber. So once it hardens, it's probably going to be very difficult to get off your brushes. And also, the viscosity of these are about the same. So now that we went over the similarities, let's go over the differences. Something else that you got to do with both of these products is stir them up really well. You want to make sure you get the chemicals blended together. And also the key differences between both of these is obviously the color. Now this one is the RedGard, and it's going to go on this pink color and dry this more cherry red color. So you'll know when it's dried when it turns this cherry red. Now this one, the AquaDefense, it's going to go on about the same color that dries, other than when it dries it just gets a little darker than this. You can see some of the dried pieces here on the edge, and you can see they're very similar to the color of the product. Another difference that I noticed about these two products is here's 2 chips that are dried. Here is the RedGard. It dries more of a hard plastic that's slightly rubberized, and the AquaDefense dries more of a rubber. It doesn't feel very plasticky at all, so I have noticed that between the two. If you're interested in purchasing any one of these products, I put a link in the description below if you want to check them out for yourself. Before I start applying the waterproofing to the cement board on these shower walls, I'm going to first take a hand masker and mask off the shower pan because you don't want that product getting all over this, because if it dries it could be a pain to get off. So first mask around your shower pan. If you do not have a hand masker like you see here, I do recommend at least running tape along the edge so that way you can cut in with a brush without getting it all over the shower pan. Now it's time to apply the product. I'm going to be using the AquaDefense, and it's not because I like AquaDefense better than the RedGard. I just happen to have a lot of this I need to use up. So either one, I give them both the same rating. I like both of them. So I'm going to go ahead and pour an adequate amount into a paint tray to get started. I'm just going to use a standard bristled brush. I have used a foam brush before, but the bristled brush definitely works better. And make sure you wear eye protection and gloves of some type because you don't want this stuff getting all over your hands either. So I'm going to first begin anywhere that is a right angle, like a corner or down here around the shower pan. I like to just take the brush and apply it there first. So we're just going to put a liberal amount back into these corners. So just like painting, other than you want to put it on relatively thick. Like I already mentioned, make sure you wear the gloves and safety glasses, but also be sure to wear older clothes that you don't mind getting dirty or stained, because if this stuff gets on your clothes, it's going to be almost impossible to get out once it dries. So bear that in mind. And also, I want you to leave a comment below to if you have ever done waterproofing before, and if you have, what product do you recommend or what technique do you recommend? Now when it comes to how high you're going to run your waterproofing, typically if you can reach up, it's going to be that height. So it's around, I'd say 7 foot to where you want to get your waterproofing to at least above the shower head. And I run my tile clear up to the ceiling. So a lot of people don't do that, but I just like the look of it. So I'm going to run my waterproofing all the way up just to keep the same consistency going up the wall. It would have been helpful if I used a slightly wider brush. A 3 or 4 inch brush would have been nice, so that way you could have held more waterproofing on the brush so it would have went on a little thicker. Another spot I like to use the brush on is right around this shower valve. A roller would work fine too to cut in here, but a brush just makes it easy. Now that I'm done cutting everything in with that brush, I'm now going to take a 3/8 snap roller, and it's a standard width roller, and these are just cheap covers. They don't have to be anything fancy. I think I got these off Amazon. So I'm going to just go ahead and load up my roller, just as if you're going to paint on foundation coating or regular paint. You're just going to get an adequate amount on, and I just like to roll vertically with, again, a liberal amount on the roller. That's the key, is you want this stuff to go on relatively thick. So something like that, because you need to make sure you fill in all the voids on the wall. And if you're rolling and you see a place that you missed that you didn't fill in with thin set, you need to make sure you hit it now. And also, if you need to know how to install the cement board, check out the video in the top right hand corner of the screen. I'll show you how to put the thin set on the wall and everything. But for now, let's get back to rolling. So again, nice vertical movements, and just cover all the cement board. Rolling the waterproofing on a wall is an easy way to apply an even coat, but it can be difficult to reach the top of the wall without a ladder. That is if you're tiling up to the ceiling. A roller with an extension handle is the perfect solution for covering high walls. The extension handle allows you to reach up to 12 foot in this case, but my ceilings here are only 9 foot, so I don't need all that. The roller used here is made of polyester, so it applies the waterproofing on evenly and smooth, and because the roller is detachable, you can easily clean it when you're finished. So if you're looking for an easy way to apply an even coat of waterproofing, a roller with an extension handle is the perfect tool for the job. Also, it's helpful if you take the roller and roll sideways into the corner, because you can get tight into the corner without scraping the other side of the wall. I just finished the first coat on this shower. Now what I'm going to do while I wait an hour is put my roller into a plastic bag so that way it doesn't harden. And also I'm going to take my brush and place it in a bag as well, so that way they stay fresh. And then we'll resume another coat after we wait an hour. Now that this has been drying for an hour, it's time to do the second coat. But before I do that, I wanted to explain something to you. If you built your shower pan out of mortar and you're going to install a tile on it, you can still use this product. So you just put 2 coats on, just like we did the walls, except you gotta let it dry for 12 hours. Then you do what's called flood testing. You plug the drain up, fill it full of water, and that will ensure that it holds water. So if you have one of those, make sure you do that. So now I'm just going to do the same process, starting the corners with the brush and then roll all the walls. You will notice that the second coat of waterproofing will not require nearly as much as the first coat. That's because the first coat was absorbed a lot by the cement board, so the second coat goes on much easier. Now that I got the second coat on, the waterproofing is complete, but I like to remove this masking while the waterproofing is fresh, so that way it's not difficult to remove later. Also, I wanted to let you know you can apply tile to this waterproofing 1 hour after the second coat. I typically wait a little longer, but it says you can do it within an hour or so. So just FYI. And now I'm going to finish removing this masking and clean up my tools with water. When you go to remove the masking, try to pull the masking away from the wall so that way you don't pull off any of the waterproofing. The next step is to install tile on these shower walls, and if you need to know how to do it, check out this video. It'll help you out.